The man in front of me was cruel. When others fish, they use bait, and he just threw the hook. 3 down the river. It can be pulled up right away. A giant short-snouted crocodile. It's no different than a meat grinder. But he's not a poacher. It's a famous swamp hunter from across America, living by catching crocodiles all year round. In just 1 month, earned the money by ordinary people's income. For 5 years, when the annual crocodile hunting season is coming to an end, most hunters still haven't used up their hunting cards, but due to the sudden cold a few days ago, caused the water to cool down quickly. Underwater crocodiles stop working and no longer eat their prey. That made the hunters anxious to scratch their ears. Only Father and Tommy are still calm, because they've done it early and made a lot of money. While you're both happily washing the boat and tidying up, the father, Joe, got a call from a friend. There are 103 hunting cards, unused, and want to resell for $10,000. Joe finished listening and thought, buy 100 cards for $10,000. It only requires 1 crocodile to sell for as little as $1,000. They can say 10 times as much. To your father does not need to think much at once, but want to catch 103 in 5 days to hunt, at least 20 per day, so they're sailing back to the swamp. Didn't know that the crocodiles had stopped eating. They still use rotten meat as bait for their teeth. 10 traps along the river, and work until the evening is over. At the same time, 80 kilometers away, James and his father still have 40 hunting cards. He looked at the map of the swamp and decided to use the darkness to find the crocodile zone. This species often hunts at night. Just flash the flashlight. You can see their eyes glistening in the water. Really, they soon discovered a giant crocodile, at least 4 meters long, and not just one. My father decided to focus on hunting in this area. The next morning, groups with their dogs soon arrived in the swamp. The weather is pretty good today. I hope the crocodiles will work again. It's worth 7 hopes. He's got more than 10 seconds. I can't see any shadow. Tommy's father and son were eager to go to the swamp, but not beyond expectations. For 10 seconds they struggled their teeth. There were no crocodiles trapped last night. Father Joe began to worry. Maybe one. This crocodile hunting card is going to be a heavy haul. Tommy's superstitious. I thought I was being teased by some force. All morning went by. Their boat was empty. 1 crocodile ball. Father and son James were much more fortunate. They went to the place where they'd found crocodiles gathered last night. They can't catch any adults, but I see many places baby crocodile hatching. I'm interested in getting some kids to play. These little ones, it takes 5 to 7 years to grow as big as a human. The crocodile's meow quickly attracted her mother. They're back to. Your father couldn't help but sail away. They're going to a wide area of water, and because crocodiles don't bite the fish, should actively attack with homemade BA hook. When you see the crocodile shadow in the water, matches thrown strong hook down and accurate. The hook hits its armor. The strong pull almost led him into the water, but the hook wasn't strong enough, so the crocodile escaped before the father. Time to fire. Time goes by. Brooks was also all day in the swamp, without catching any crocodiles, but you're not empty. A hook that caught the fish. Pretty big. You go home. Process the fish and make a crispy, fragrant yellow fried fish. The 3rd day. Before we start, the father of the shrimp came up with an interesting idea to attract crocodiles. The father mixed the sauce, family BBQ on rotten meat bait, then grilled through the fire for the fragrance to radiate. Hoping to stimulate crocodiles in the water, they hang pieces of bait, marinate this on the branches along the river. At the same time, Brooks' efforts finally paid off. I found a fishing line under the tree. Times by wire. I saw a short-snouted alligator bite. You shoot it down and use the winch to pull the boat. Tag mark. That's $2,000 in your pocket. While he cooks for Tommy's father's BBQ. Also began to show a marked effect. There's been a crocodile bite. 2 father and son Tommy coordinate rhythmically, the rope puller, the shooter. Soon enough, they've collected more than 10 crocodiles up to 3 meters along the river. In less than 2 hours, the little boat was full of booty. Make your 2 fathers smile endlessly. On the side of my father, I also use homemade crochet. I managed to catch some crocodiles in the water. Although the number is not much, each one weighs nearly 200 kilograms. Huge body and excellent quality. As Louisiana's early morning sun rises, the annual crocodile hunting season has only 1 last day left. Now, most swamp hunters are exhausted. But to make a little more money, everyone's trying their best for the last sprint. Tommy and his father got up early and went straight into the swamp. There are 20 crocodile hunting cards in your hand. Father Joe hopes to catch them all in the day. At least earn some big ones to make up for the loss. Father and son James are much softer. They only have 4 cards. It's for the big ones. 2 people anchor the boat on the shore, loaded the gun and patiently watched the water. Not long after, the father spotted a large crocodile floating its head. According to experience, it is not less than 3 meters long. He immediately yanked 8x aiming gun, close it, and pull the trigger. The explosion goes off. The bullet hit the target. The crocodile died on the spot. Your father must quickly pull it up before sinking. The match acted quickly and threw the hook correctly, dragging the crocodile's body onto the boat, but they realized it was smaller than expected. Not the boss, I thought. At the same time, in another village, Choi's father had an unusual situation. They found a crocodile. The giant is wobbling under the fishing line. Choi was delighted. I think this is the guy I've been looking for so long. When Jacob's son pulled the trigger, they pulled it up. But horrible, the crocodile's head was bitten off. Let me immediately understand. The alligator they just pulled up was picked up by a bigger one, swallowed almost everything. This guy has left, and only those that are over 4 meters long dare to attack people like that. Choi called this monster the lake monster, the nest of the swamp, and decided to wait with his son for an ambush by the river. I hope it comes back. And now the story continues with Father and Tommy. They also quickly spotted a crocodile in the middle of the grass. The father must use his best to pull that crocodile closer to the boat, and hastily told Tommy's son to shoot him. But at the critical moment, Tommy forgot to reload. This carelessness infuriated Joe. Fortunately, the crocodile is not very big. After loading, Tommy fired a shot and knocked him out. Joe, before he could advise Tommy, he was annoyed. Nasty, it's hot. They need to get the crocodiles back soon. But Tommy got mad. He said he was fed up with the weather. Sultry and crocodile catching job. Smelly and tired. I have to listen to you. Finished talking, he drove away, leaving Father alone in the swamp. Meanwhile, Father Matchmaker only has 3 hunting cards. The father is patiently sitting on the shore, watched the water with a gun. Not long after, they found a crocodile under the tree. James was shooting when his son stood up. Made the crocodile panic and flee. He shouted angrily. But fortunately, the crocodile that hasn't gone far soon resurfaced. James did not miss the opportunity this time. Pulled the trigger, hit the head. The crocodile died instantly. Your father quickly climbed into the boat and pulled him up. It's not wrong. This is a giant crocodile over 3 meters long, worth at least $2,000. At the same time, Joe was standing on the shore waiting. Believe that boys are only temporarily angry and will come back. Not long after, Tommy returned. Your father went down to the pond together. They walked along the river quite well. I met another crocodile a long time ago, but Tommy forgot to reload again. This time he shamefully loaded and shot down the animal. The THGO only knows silence, afraid to say more. The boy was angry and threw himself into the river. Fortunately, luck smiled at them. Your father caught more and more crocodiles along the shore. I quickly used up all my hunting cards. Meanwhile, Choi and his son are still hunting the lake monster, Nest in the swamp. Choi dropped the remaining cards. We have to hunt this giant to end the hunting season perfectly. God does not really help people. To the evening, they pulled up a giant crocodile. It's the biggest I've seen in 35 years. The animal struggled furiously. I almost dragged both of them into the water. They shot 5 times, then the 10th shot knocked it out. At the same time, my father, James, also hunted his last crocodile. Put the card on his back. Complete the hunting season this year. All the swamp hunters, they've all finished their hunting season. People take turns bringing the crocodiles, caught back to port. Giant crocodile gets Choi. It's called the monster. Nest doesn't make people 7. With length up to 4.5 meters, it helped Choi make $3,000. No doubt about it. This is the biggest and most expensive one this year in the state, Louisiana, to increase hunting efficiency. Choi chooses rotten turkey, crocodile's favorite food, is bait, and then mark the line and hang it on the tree. In just one morning, your father has stretched more than 100 strings along the riverbank. But soon after, Chloe noticed for a few seconds that the morning sentence was gone. When you look up, I saw a big tree break in 2. It's probably caused by a giant crocodile, because it takes at least 3 adults to break the branches. That's why Chloe calls this crocodile a chainsaw. No more clues. My father went to check the remaining wires. Soon enough, they found a tree that was shaking. Another live chainsaw to bite the fish. Chloe hurriedly pulled the rope. But be extremely careful, because there's probably a giant down there. As the crocodiles rise to the surface, it's starting to spin like crazy. Activate the death cycle skill. The boy who was the first to panic shoot. Continuously but not fatally. Only with a gun to your head. They just took down a 3-meter monster. It's worth about $1,500. It's a pretty good start for both of you. It's 20 kilometers away. Father Matchmaker has just arrived in the marshes. This season they have 252 crocodile hunting cards, 50 more than last year. So Matches bought a brand new motorboat. I think the new year will have a good start. But halfway through, The engine suddenly shuts down. 3 people were almost thrown into the river, immediately worried. Take off the machine, check out. Fortunately, it's not a serious mistake, so they soon set off again and went to the crocodile hunting ground. In the meantime, Willie spotted a crocodile swimming near the shore. Quick match yang, the gun aimed straight at its head and exploded. The first shot, the crocodile was shot. Willie immediately pulled it onto the boat with a BA nail, but it's a surprise. The crocodile is not dead. He pressed Willie's finger, causing blood to flow. Who also knows, crocodiles are the world's most powerful bite force. If you can't pull out your hand, Willie could lose his finger. Fortunately, this child is small, so the situation can still be saved. The father used the little knife, cleverly pricked the crocodile's mouth. I saved my son's finger. But with the swamp hunters, there's nothing strange about this kind of trauma. Just wash through with oxygen. Old age and timely disinfection is to avoid infection. Clearly, the first day of the new hunting season with your father, James, is not going well. Tommy's father, on the other hand, had a fast start. They get 220 crocodile hunting cards, and to increase the efficiency of human hunting, father decided to use heirloom sauce as bait. Mix more gravy with the smell. That can attract crocodiles within a 3-kilometer radius. As expected, soon in the bush in the middle of the swamp, there was a catch. Because of the muddy, wooded area, your father cannot pull hard. You have to finish it first with a gun. It's time for Tommy to show his mettle. You aim your shot precisely at the critical point. The gunshot thundered. The crocodile came rushing. Tommy pulled the trigger 5 times to get it. After hauling the crocodile carcass onto the boat and tagging it, your father rejoices with the first booty. Not long after, they found another one. Tommy, as usual, yang gun shot, but the VA bullet went into the crocodile's skull. The bones bounced back into the corners of the T-mouth. Tommy hurriedly picked up the bone piece raw. May only have mild pain, not serious. The two continued along the river collecting fishing lines. And fortunately, almost every rope has a crocodile bite. In just one afternoon, their boat was overcrowded with crocodiles, forced to return to port. In the middle of all the booty, my father was stunned. In total, they caught 51, destroyed every 6th century swamp hunter for years. After measuring, the average price per car is $1,500, a trip worth 8 rice. Meanwhile, after a day of searching, father and son Chloe, I finally found the broken tree the day before. Kia head mounted with crocodile lanyard. Extremely dodgy animal hiding in the thick grass. But that doesn't make it hard for Choi. They tied a rope to a tree. Kia head connected to the boat and increased GA full size, and pulled the tree and the crocodile out. The gunfire thundered. The giant mobile saw was finally taken down. If you look at it, you know this is a rare animal, up to 5 meters long, weighing about 350 kilograms. When they brought it back to port, the merchant paid $3,000. Chloe is very excited. Hopefully in the next 29 days, we catch a monster like that every day. The video is over. Sign up to see more exciting episodes. See you guys later.